Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Inside the Big Dynasty Leagues. With me, as always, is the commish, Clyde Randall Waters, and the auditor, Alan Henley. And I, of course, am Mike. I said that out of order this week, and I'm sorry.
Whoa. It's nice to mix it up every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's getting crazy up here. I don't know if I can handle it.
Let's get into Week 7.
Should we trade seats?
Because I messed up the order?
We're mixing it up, right?
No, I'm not getting up.
Okay.
Mixon's not doing very hot this year.
Mixon is not. That's a fact.
That is an unfortunate fact.
The Bengals suck.
They do.
That's a fact.
All right, let's take a look at some highlights from this week. What is some of the breaking news from this week? Why don't you give me one, commish, and then I got one, and then we'll look for one from the auditor here.
Well,
You can do what you need to do.
no, I'll save that one for you.
There's another one you can do. I just moved where it was at on the page.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it's this one.
Okay, never mind. I'm just going to do them both.
Where'd you move? No! Hold on. Oh, you moved it. Huh.
I moved it.
We're going to let the auditor start with his breaking news.
Fine, auditor, go.
Yay! All right, guys. I don't know if you've all heard or not, but we have a new all-time low score.
All-time low.
All-time low.
Lowest score between two leagues in all history.
Both leagues, lowest score.
Low.
And this includes, you can add in, even if you add in like week 17, when people don't care about fantasy football at all. They're not even playing because our championship is over. This is the lowest score still. Because the Harrison...
You guys understand it's a low score.
It's awful.
We're finding an elaborate way to explain it's the lowest score of all time.
Low.
Right.
And that is?
The Harrison Bullfrogs scored 22.96 points. It's like 26 points worse than the next worst. It's crazy.
This is a record that might stand for a lifetime.
Yeah, this is bad.
And the sad thing is, this is a score put up by a team that was trying.
Are they, though? I mean, did you see their draft?
What a horrible season. We thought the Bengals were doing bad.
I know. Bengals have a glimmer of hope.
They have a win. The Bullfrogs have
They do.
a win.
They do.
That is true.
The Bengals don't.
That is true.
Speaking of people having a win,
Uh-oh.
commish, why don't you tell us about somebody who just got a win?
Well, in other news, it's not Mike. Mike did not just get a win.
I have a win, sir.
Hey.
But there are now no more any winless teams yeah. This is a rough day.
Guys, we're already 5 minutes in. We're not even out of the intro.
5 minutes in.
Come on.
There aren't any teams with no wins. I can't say this anyway.
Timmy won!
Timmy won!
Oh my God!
He won again. Not only did he win won a game, but he was the highest scoring team in the big league this week.
That is really unfortunate that the dream didn't come true where he won a game in the Commissioner's Cup before the regular season.
I know.
Oh, well.
But Timmy won a game.
Congratulations, Timmy.
Let's get out of this intro. Let's move on.
Let's take a look at some notable matchups of last week. Oliver, can you please give me a notable matchup from last week?
I would absolutely love to give you a notable matchup of last week. Let's see. We had a team has no name beating the Mixon administration. A team has no name, I believe, was a one-win team going into this week. And the Mixon administration were sitting atop of their division and just got beat by 6 points. Sonny Michel outscored Julian Edelman on Monday night because as we all know, it all comes down to Monday night. Yeah, that's a big win for a team that has no name, but I don't know if it'll do much for their season as they're not statistically eliminated, I don't believe, but it's going to be hard for them to make a comeback. This loss, however, for the Mixon administration hurts a lot.
It does. It does. But, a team has no name. It's rolling into a bye week next week as they go up against the Harrison Bullfrogs. So who knows? This might spin into a winning streak for a team that has no name. The nameless team.
The nameless team.
A team has no name. The team has no name.
Let's take a look at another notable matchup, Commish, if you can form sentences. Let's take a look at the second notable matchup of the week, sir.
What's in the Yeti? That's the question.
It's Coke. It's always Coke. It's Coke and ice.
That's a fact. Anyways.
And it makes it very hard for you to sneak up on people because you're clanging around like some sort of bell cow.
Is it a bell cow or a cowbell?
It's a bell cow when it's walking around. The cowbell is on the cow's neck. Would you please give me a matchup?
The matchup that I wanted to bring up is Campedos against Live Fantasy Association. This ended up being quite a close matchup. Not a close shave, but close enough that we thought it was notable enough to talk about here. We have Live Fantasy Association taking out Campedos with a score of 142 to 136. As we all know, Live Fantasy Association is that franchise that's been involved in a lot of trades lately that have drummed up a lot of conversations. I also have some breaking news here that they have another trade coming through, and it should be posted here shortly. I heard it involves AJ Green.
Oh,
that's right. Our league has managed to figure out how to trade AJ Green before the Bengals have figured out how to do it.
Wow. Can we also talk about the fact that Live Fantasy Association traded for a retired player and is now traded for an injured player who's yet to hit the field this year and shows no signs of hitting the field anytime soon.
And yet
when?
He wins.
All I gotta say is he's making moves. He's staying a viable team. He's gonna get into the playoffs. Maybe this year it's gonna be close if he does, but he has dropped tons of salary cap.
He has,
and he's gonna have a starting lineup next year, quite possibly for $90 or less.
Yep, yeah, it's gonna look good. Crazy thing here is Campedos has Aaron Rodgers. And we all know how Aaron Rodgers balled out this week, so kind of surprising that Campedos find a way to lose this with that amount of points in your bench. We will talk about that later, but it's because Live Fantasy Association had another big player on their bench.
Are you implying that Campedos, the team that has kept a retired player on their roster
up until they traded him?
To the
team they lost to?
To the team they lost to is not good at managing his team.
I'm not saying he's not good at managing his team. I'm just surprised that he found a way to lose.
I will say he's not good at managing his team. And I can say it without any hesitation because I know he doesn't watch.
The difference in this game came down to the defenses. Campedos starting the Chargers. Why are you starting the Chargers defense anymore? I don't know.
Yeah.
Live Fantasy Association on that 49ers train and 25 points in the defense category there. Plus Marvin Jones offsetting Aaron Rodgers' magical day there. This was a pretty heavy matchup here. Also, Campedos has been too busy playing with his new Jerry Ruff.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got a turtle. Be careful. So you know.
Next up, we're going to take a look at one more matchup. This one's a BDL matchup this time. We're taking a look at the Scarlet Pimps versus the Skyline Chili Slingers. And let me tell you, the Slingers were slinging the chili today. Or this weekend, I should say. It was hot chili. It was burning the Pimps. And they destroyed them. 177.06 to 112.24. I suspect it's probably because Aaron Rodgers had finally had a great game.
And Marvin Jones finally did something.
The San Francisco 49ers defense.
Oh, imagine
that. I mean, like, could you have 3 better players on your team this week?
Oh, you could.
Okay. Well, never mind then.
No, I'm just talking.
No, I mean,
That's all I do.
I mean, like it's like 120 of his 177 points were from those 3 players, and if you get 120 points from 3 players and you can't find a way to win, I don't think you deserve to win ever. So congratulations, Skyline Chili Slingers, on your first win. You are last but not least, though you do have the least amount of points for, I believe, still. So maybe you are. I don't know. But congratulations.
All right, let's take a look at this week's MVPs of the week.
MVPs of the week.
All right, we've said his name a couple of times because what a surprise if you have a really good player you get in the show. But our MVP for quarterback this week, Auditor, what did the number crunching tell you?
Well, as we've said many times, it's Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers. He scored 52.96 points, 5 passing touchdowns, and I believe a rushing. Good week to have Aaron Rodgers.
Where does that put on all-time points for a game in league history?
You know, I don't know. I can find it in a minute.
Slacker. I'm going to call it now. It's probably top 5.
You think it's top 5?
If not, probably right outside, like number 6.
While the Auditor looks at that, why don't you, Commish, give me the running back MVP of the week?
This one grinds my gears. Here's why. They came out and they said, hey, David Johnson is going to start today. He's been questionable, but he's going to start. And you know the old adage here in fantasy football, when you got a stud, you start your stud. I started David Johnson, not in this league, another league, a league where I happened to be undefeated in, but then I lost. Because David Johnson played for 1 play, got 0.2 points, and I left Chase Edmonds on the bench with 35 points. That's right, the running back MVP of the week is Chase Edmonds with 35 points. He's been dubbed the Austin Eckler of Arizona.
Well, Aaron Rodgers in the ADL is the 3rd highest scoring, but in the BDL, he's number 8.
Ooh.
And that's probably because the BDL has lasted or been around longer.
Much longer.
I was close. I was close.
All right, now we got our wide receiver of the week, and this one is Marvin Jones, former Bengals player, with 43.3 points. Guy tore it up this week in Detroit versus whoever they were playing. I didn't pay attention to any football this week because we got a new dog. And his name is Weller, and he's awesome.
Way to ruin it.
What ruin? I told people.
You're going to do a big reveal, a surprise.
Oh, well.
Well, Darren Waller from Oakland was the tight end of...
Do a surprise. You got to tell me.
It was the tight end of the week, as these two have a feud. He scored 31.6 points this week. So maybe Derek Carr found his favorite tight end again?
Look, Darren Waller is the only thing that's going on right now in Oakland.
Yeah.
He's basically just a straight receiver that starts in a tight end position.
All right, and who is the kicker this week, Commissioner?
It's another kicker who's going to kick. That is Brett Mayer from Dallas, 20 points.
Bam. And the defense of the week, no surprise here. They've been the defense many times. It is the New England Patriots defense with 35 points. My goodness, do they know how to play football?
They're the top fantasy option this year right now. They're like the number 1 fantasy player in our league.
Yep.
That is insane.
Insane in the membrane.
Insane in the brain.
All right. Well, let's see. We're about halfway through the show, so let's take a look at the developments with the Commissioner's Cup. We did the drawing last week. Commish, give me just a moment here. I will turn on our special power tool, and we'll be able to show everyone the lovely website and how to get to the Commissioner's Cup. Maybe. If it works. Okay, now it's working. Alright, so I have pulled up the spreadsheet.
Yes.
Okay.
Just the standard spreadsheet here, not from the one that's embedded. We're going to show them here in a minute. Anything about this you want us to point out specifically, other than that we have the main page here, which is the group play page. And this, is my understanding, is going to live import and update scores.
Yeah, that's right. So this spreadsheet here is going to be your tracking tool for everything with the Commissioner's Cup. On here you'll find a tab that breaks down the rules. In case you didn't quite understand it, the numerous times I've tried explaining it to everyone in the league, or you're the person who doesn't listen when I talk, either during the draft, when we hang out, or on the show. Anyways, it's there. There's a rules page.
You don't watch it.
What were you saying about that listening?
Exactly.
Or those ones that don't watch the show.
Exactly. Those people. Look, there's a tab that's the groups tab. It breaks down what we did last week. If you still don't know what group you're in, go watch last week's episode. It will tell you. Plus, it was great. It was good.
Quality family entertainment,
Yes.
if you ask me.
Great entertainment.
Energy.
Disney would have bought
Live
it.
drawing for group play. Anyways, the groups tab shows all the groups in the order of which they were drawn based on their tiers and so on and so forth and what with.
Okay.
But the important thing that you want to pay attention to now, the phase we're in now for the Commissioner's Cup is group play. This is that phase where you are going to be playing each week against another team in your group, and that team could be in the big league or in the American League. That's right, it's cross-league play here, people. That's why the Commissioner's Cup is awesome. So, each week for the next, 5 weeks, you're going to be playing one other team. If you win, your team gets a point. If you lose, you get no points. And this sheet tracks all that. And what you'll see on here is each grouping with the group standings, followed by the breakdown of your points for winning a game for each week, and then the box scores for each week of gameplay. You will see that you have your score versus the score of your opponent. That score is going to be brought in automatically. We are piping in to our league system and pulling that data in for you. Now, I'm going to give you a little warning. This is like my first draft in this sheet. It could be wonky. It may not be live up to date to the minute. It may take a while to refresh, but it's going to be there. Use it to track your scoring for this. You will also see that each team is a link. So if you want to see your opponent's full roster, just click on their name and it will take you directly to their team page.
As you can see, I just linked over to the Harrison Bullfrogs questionable team. And we're back to the sheet.
So, the standings section, which shows all the teams and their breakdown per game, that's automatically calculated too. It's going to be looking for, all right, here's your matchup for week 1. Did you win or did you lose? And here's the caveat. Is it after 10 a.m. on a Thursday when stat corrections have gone in? Once it hits that point, it'll officially give you your point or no point towards your winning of the game that week. And it will calculate your total points. When your total points is calculated, it automatically adjusts the top section of the sheet, which is your standings. And it's going to show you who the top team is. And it takes into account the tiebreaker for that, which is going to be total points scored during the group play. This is like spreadsheet porn here, people.
It's pretty awesome.
Anyways.
So I guess the real question now is, how do we get to said sheet?
Sure.
Well,
one last thing I want to emphasize here.
Okay.
In the top standings, you'll notice there's 4 teams in green and 2 teams in yellow. The 4 teams in green represent the teams that will get to move on to the elimination tournament. The 2 teams in yellow are just out. They don't get to move on to the next round.
Oh.
All right.
But how do you get to the sheet? Well, the first way is if you get on Slack, the official league communication tool, in the general channel, which is cross-league communication between American and Big League.
Cross-league communication for cross-league play.
Exactly. I posted it there. You can find the link in there. It'll be in the attachment section in there. You can click it. It's a Google Sheet. You can get on from your phone, from your iPad, from your BlackBerry, from your tablet, from
any device that has a web browser.
Your MacBook.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
Or maybe you're the kind of guy that's like, oh, I don't want to have to look at multiple things. I'm already going to the league site to submit my lineup. Well, I'm the kind of commissioner that takes care of you. Mike, show them how they can get to see the Commissioner Cup sheet from the league site.
Yes. So, what we do is from the league site, I'm using the Big Dynasty League as an example, but it's the same on the ADL as well. You will see this toolbar right here that a lot of people miss because it's the 3rd toolbar on the page. But if you click on Commissioner's Cup, you will see that it pulls up for you the standings page. And you scroll sideways and you can see C and D. All right.
If you scroll to the bottom, you can go to the different tabs. So if you want to go see the rules tab, you can click over to the rules. Or you can click over to the group. And so on, so forth, and what with.
All right.
With
and
what?
What's really nice is once we get out of the group play, this default page will change from the group standings to the elimination bracket. And you'll be able to watch that all from the league homepage. Again, just go to your homepage on the blue 3rd toolbar, go over to Commissioner's Cup, and it will be there.
Yes. So, week 1 of group play starts with week 8. So that means this next coming week, this week coming up, this weekend is group play. Remember, you're just setting one lineup. Your one lineup is going to play your regular matchup in your league, but it's also going to go head-to-head versus whoever you're facing in the Commissioner's Cup.
So, like, for example, in Group A this week, the Scarlet Pimps from the BDL are going against the Harrison Bullfrogs. Both of them will just set a lineup that they would normally and go against each other. Oddly enough, the other 2, just on the random occurrences, happen to be same league play, but it's the same thing. Just as an example.
What? Same league play.
Same league.
Yeah,
so it's like,
get off me.
BDL versus BDL.
Yeah,
he plays.
I thought you meant it was like the same team playing the same team, right?
No,
I was like, wow, that's crazy that happened.
League, not team.
Crazy.
All right, we're disengaging the special tool.
Disengaged.
Hey, who do you play this week?
Let's see. I am in Group C.
Oh.
And if I look at Group C and I look at my team, I found out that I'm playing this guy.
Oh, man. I don't want to play you.
Yeah. Good thing this is a group play because, we're tied for first in our division. And I don't want to make you fall to second place.
Yes,
all right, let's take a look at injuries from last week.
Uh-oh.
All right, so we have about some big injuries. Matt Ryan was pulled. He's going week to week. So that's going to be interesting. He has a right high ankle sprain. This is the biggest one, I think, of the week. Patrick Mahomes is out for 3 to 6 weeks.
Look.
This could be a season ender for a lot of people.
Look, they said this doesn't just hurt Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs, that this hurts the entire league.
Oh, it does. It gives the Patriots a clear shot with no competition at all to the Super Bowl.
Again.
We also have Kerryon Johnson. He has some undiagnosed knee injury. He's going to be out for at least 1 week. Adrian Peterson still week to week.
I got moved to the IR.
Out at least 1 week according to my sheet here. But it's possible this website.
Well, this was like a recent update, so it could be the same yeah.
Adam Thielen out.
Johnson on IR.
Yep.
Adam Thielen out at least 1 week. Will Fuller out for several weeks. That's upsetting. Delaney Walker week to week. So those are your injury updates for this week. Yeah. So let's take a look real quick. We got about 5 minutes left. Want to see if there's any good matchups for next week to talk about real quick? Or do you want to focus on the NFL pool pick standings?
Well, I don't know. Why not?
Okay.
Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to shut it down.
No!
We don't have to go 30. We can go.
Just confused because we were going to talk about the matchups for the Commissioner's Cup, but then you went to the.
I was very confused. I was very confused what happened.
The note said Commissioner's Cup. We talked about the schedule. We talked about how it's tracked. Boom.
The schedule was also meant to have time talking about the matchups.
Your notes are crap.
Well,
go talk.
Here, I got a better idea.
Oh,
let's just spend our time introducing the league to Weller.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Everybody wants to meet Weller.
Ladies and gentlemen, named after one of the greatest bourbons, Weller Special Reserve and Weller Antique, I would like to introduce you all to the new good boy, Weller.
Come here,
Oh,
buddy.
the Weller.
Come here. Come
Weller.
here. You say hi to everybody. Yeah.
And that's his butt.
Hi there.
And he's just walking away.
Great boy. Great boy.
All right. That's Weller, ladies and gentlemen. You can't see me, but I want you to set your lineups. It's especially important with the cross play. You got two matchups again, like a doubleheader week. Set your lineups. Get your picks in. Set your lineups. Have fun playing fantasy football because it's supposed to be fun. Even if you're losing, have fun. And everybody else out there who doesn't play fantasy football, you're a weirdo. Have a good day and a good week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.